Hey everyone, it's Saturday, March 24th, 2018, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been an excellent day. I'm in a really good place and excited for a productive session as usual. Um, gonna hit some online classes here, update you guys with the main takeaways from those. Gonna hit light drum practice, listen back to some of the guitar takes I did on Thursday night, and then possibly work on that song a little bit more. I'm going to take a lighter session today than I typically do, and I think last week was sort of the end of like the 8, 9, 10 hour music days for the foreseeable future. Right now, with as I get into training for this new teaching gig I'm doing, and as I begin teaching classes, I have only committed to teaching like 3 to 4 days a week, so there still might be 2 or 3 days a week that I do, you know, 8, 9, 10 hour music days. But for the next few weeks, or at least for this coming week, I'm probably going to do all half days, probably take a couple extra days off and just finish up my move because there's still plenty of work here to do. It's nothing crazy, but I'd like to just get it knocked out because I've been chipping away at it so slowly and it's kind of weighing on me, and I'd like to just check the box and get it done. Same thing with the new place. I'd love to just get a ton of stuff set up there, and it just takes time. And I've realized like it's difficult to estimate exactly how long it's going to take to assemble a squat rack, or a couch, or position a floor lamp. All that stuff takes time in a new environment, and yeah, I would just like to feel like that box is checked so that I can refocus all my energy and intent with on the music front. Um, so that's where I'm at today. I'm contemplating a lot of stuff on the back of my mind. I'm not going to lie, there's just a lot on my mind right now. But I'm going to just get in the zone, get some work done, and kick some butt, and update you guys with what I accomplish at the end. So appreciate you for tuning in. Let me know if you have any thoughts or questions as we go, and I'll see you guys in a few. All right, pretty darn good session. I have mixed feelings about going back to doing 3 hour. Probably like going forward, it's probably gonna be like 3 hours a day, maybe four, and then some longer days, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I definitely have mixed feelings about it. Some of my positive thoughts on it are, it does allow me and force me to be more efficient because there's more pressure on the time. It's more important that I stay super focused and bam, 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 bam throughout the session. And number two, it's much easier to do that because I'm not asking myself to do that for an entire day. I'm just asking myself to do that for a few hours, which is just easier. It's just a lot easier to stay in the zone like that. So I think it's going to be good. Honestly, I think it's going to be good. I think I'll just chip away a little more slowly at this album than maybe originally planned, but hopefully the new studio setup helps me work more quickly through the mixing and mastering phase and marketing phase. And this is a journey that I'm on, and that's why I say it's all about the process and enjoying that, because like can't always control every single result. So yeah, what I did is I just jumped in the online class front, hit the Art of Music Production class. Well, let me say this: it may be possible to control the result. That may be possible, but probably the way I'm going to get the best result and control that optimally is by focusing on optimizing my process. So that's probably a better way of saying that. And yeah, I could have like made myself totally miserable over the last 4 months and gotten this record done, but I don't know that that would have been the product I was looking for, first of all in terms of my experience, and second of all in terms of the feel of the record. Like, do I want the record to sound like someone was just like killing himself to get the record done? Not really. I want the record to have a good vibe. I want it to have a really positive a positive effect on people. And one way I can do that is working for quality and also making sure that the energy of each take is the way that I want it to be and that that translates. And that takes time. You know, I've never really done a multi-track project quite like this before. And so I guess I can't really expect myself to kill it the very first time that I'm doing it, even though I do expect myself to get great results. So that just makes sense why it's taken longer than I figured that it might. But also a lot of that's on me just managing my time and my energy, and I could have been a lot more efficient over the last few months. Hence why I think it could be valuable for me to move to shorter sessions, because it just forces me to be a little more focused. It's easier for me to focus on that, and then I can move on to something else and I'm distracted. I'm not thinking like, oh, I really should be working on music right now, you know. So those are my thoughts on that. Hit the online class front, art of music production class, a little bit about artistic vision, which is different than artistic identity. Artistic identity is who you are as an artist or producer. Your vision is what you want to accomplish, the objectives you want to accomplish through your art. And he talks about having an overall career vision and then individual visions for each project that you work on. And he recommends working with artists to think about your next 3 projects, not just the current project, because a big problem is people trying to get too much of their vision out in just one project, and it doesn't have a consistency, it doesn't have a focus. You know, the work is sort of all over the place. And he says, you know, great art has focus, which I think is interesting. He uses the example of Miles Davis, Kinda Blue has a very specific vibe versus Sketches of Spain or versus Bitches Brew. And he uses those examples, which I think are very illustrative of what he's talking about. So sort of mapped out my next few projects and kind of what I'm thinking, and they're going to have very different feels, I think. So I'm excited. From there, I jumped on the drums, did a light warm-up, and then started working on some of the treble areas for the part I'm currently tracking. I didn't really want to do any tracking today, just for physical reasons, but I mean, it would have been great to knock it out, but just for time and physical reasons, I didn't want to push myself too hard today. I think I'll get into that a little more tomorrow. But I did slow things down using the metronome and work out a couple of the treble areas that I was having issues with, and I think that'll make tracking a lot more smooth when I get back into that. And then I did the same thing with the guitar part, because I've just been struggling with these parts the last, you know, few weeks really. And so that's when I need to just slow things down, figure out, okay, where am I getting held back, what are the problem areas, and diagnose things a little more carefully, and that's just a much more efficient way to work. And that's why I was talking about compressing my time. I think it does force me to focus on things a little bit differently, instead of just using the brute force approach of like 100 takes, you know, because I have all the time in the world. So something to think about, something to ponder, and obviously you guys are along this journey with me, so you'll see how things develop over the next few months as I kind of change up my schedule. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys are out there grinding towards your goals, enjoying the process. That's what I'm out here doing, just learning a ton every single day, getting better. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Can't wait.